Hey guys, what's going on? I'm going to go over the Bullseye trades for this last week. It was CVNA. Before I get started, I want to talk briefly about an event that's happening this week from Stephen Brooks. So Stephen Brooks is launching his service called Daily Dividends. This service has been out for a while, but it's really gone through a new relaunch period. So there's lots of testimonials out on it. It's one of the coolest services I've come across for a long time. And I've been talking to Stephen about it in depth, along with a few people that have already signed up for it as well. So I thought it'd be something that's worth talking about very briefly, and then we can go on and look through CVNA and see how it did this week from Bullseye Trades. So let's have a look at the review here. So I put basically all of the daily dividends testimonials in this article. You can find it in the link below. You can also find a link to check out the webinar, which is happening this last week of June. So if you're watching this before the last week of June, so I'm putting this video out there at the weekend, it's the 24th. If you're looking to get into this, I would definitely try signing up for it within the next day or two. I think it's on the 27th, but I'm not completely sure when this launches. But this is the webinar registration page here. Basically what Stephen's doing, and I did a webinar with him about a month ago now, or at least a few weeks ago, where you can talk about how to automate these trades. So basically he's automating or teaching people how to automate these trades in less than just 5 minutes a day. So pre-market, he has these levels. These levels are support and resistance in the market, and they're based on market makers hedging. I think they're also called gamma levels. Might not be exactly the same thing, but it's something similar. And basically he's showing people and alerting people on how to basically automate their trades. So you spend 5 minutes pre-market and you put in your trades orders based on what these resistance and support levels are, so that you can just walk away and leave the thing for the day, and if it executes, great. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So it's basically 5 minutes trading a day. It's had some really great reviews. So I've tried some of the trading around these levels. They're all 0 DTE SPX trades. You can do them on the futures as well though. It's really good. So you can see there's tons of testimonials here. Again, I'll leave this link in the description below. And you can go through and you can try and figure out some of the stuff that he's doing here and types of trades that he's doing. Call credit spreads, doing MES and ES, 0 DTE SPX trades. Like, there's just so much going on. And basically it's had this like really great reception from people. So people have been saying, like, almost 60% of people give it 5 out of 5, which in this industry is ridiculously good, right? That's unheard of. I mean, maybe on like an Amazon product or something, you'd get that sort of level of conviction in it. But generally for services where you're selling education or trade alerts, you don't get anything like this good response. So to get 5 out of 5 for over 50% of the people is really phenomenal. So I think this is something worth checking out. I definitely think you should check out the webinar if you have a chance. I'll leave a link in the description below so you can go and check it out for yourselves. Anyway, let's get on with the Bullseye trades for the week. So I didn't take this trade. I had a feeling the market was going to pull back a bit, which is what it did. And basically we did have a pullback. So this was the last 5 days. I think this is on the 5-day 5-minute on SPX. Yeah, 5-day 5-minute. So you can see this whole week we had a pullback on the SPX. Incidentally, these two levels are the two main levels that Stephen recommended on the 0 DTE SPX stuff, and you can see they were very well respected for the day, that they stayed within these two levels really nicely. So that is pretty cool. It looks like you can see the support is just above his key level at 43.40, and if you're taking a bet that this wouldn't have broken through, then you're doing pretty well. And if you're taking a bet that this wouldn't break above here, you also did pretty well. So I didn't play this either, but you know what. So if we look at CVNA on the 5-day 5-minute, it looks like I had a brief look at this, so the descending peaks earlier in the week. Just trying to get my thoughts here. Let's see. Get rid of this guy. So this was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So not a huge sell-off really, but significant given the percentage. So it's a $22 stock, so it was up at 26. So yeah, 20% drop. 10% would be $2. So yeah, fairly significant, especially if you chased at the open on Monday when this alert came out. Hopefully people waited off until we saw kind of a basing in this area. But let's see what Jeff had to say about it before things went on. So let's see. So my plan for CVNA is to take this trade in 2 pieces. I want to get a half-size position today. So that was on the Monday, somewhere near my entry goal listed below. Then I want to save room and add if CVNA goes to 23. So what did it do? Yeah, so it dropped to the 23. So hopefully it was only a half position up until 23, and that would minimize the loss at least somewhat. Let's see. Very volatile stocks. The options are pricier than normal. There's a history of making big swings. So these were the exact contracts. July 7th, $30 calls near 160. So let's see what other people were doing. This is obviously a losing week. You can tell that just from the way it went down significantly. Let's see if other people are complaining about it. Still holding your CVNA. Right now, the market is so mean, but all part of the game. I still think this trade is in play. So it seems like he is still holding it. Didn't take a loss on it. Will you add to your position? CVNA below 23, but $1. Something the charts. Wait until, which could be a gamma trigger. Okay. So it looks like he is still holding it. Yes, there's a typo. Yeah, so it looks like Jeff is still holding it, although it did close beneath. I don't think it's closed below 21, is it? So let's have a look. 21. No, it's still closed above 21, so it's still in play, but only just. And so yeah, not the best alert from Bullseye trades this week. So yeah, not fantastic. I need to add it to my article though, so I have a review article where I basically put all of these. Let's see if we can find it. It's the Bullseye trades. You know, it probably pops up on Google. Let's have a look. Bullseye trades, stock alerts reviewed. Sometimes it's easier just to do that. There we go. So this is the review article. You guys that have been following the channel for a while will have probably checked this out by now. If you haven't, it's worth going to check out because I put a link to some interesting things like interviews with Jeff Bishop that I did, but also like the track record for the last year and a half. So I haven't added it in yet. I'll put it in. This is the 16th needs to go in here. I think it's safe to say it was a 50% loser. And so you can see that often there's 50% losers, but generally the profits are bigger than the losers. The problem is sticking with the plan, right? The problem is actually not getting freaked out by the minus 50% so that you can get the 250% winner. And that's the same with trading overall, but the same applies for these alert services as well. So one thing you can do to avoid that is to check out Stephen Brooks' stuff, which is basically automated in 5 minutes a day. So you put these orders in like a robot pre-market, and then they just do what they do. And you don't have to worry about taking the trade, freaking out about the trade. It just is what it is, and you put the stuff in and you just let it be. And it's something that I would really like to explore more because that's the crux, right? Getting the emotion out of the trades and just turning it into something that's not crackhead day trading, but also isn't going to put you off. Because there's so many people I know that start Bullseye trades and then they end up just giving up after the first 2 losses in a row, and then they move on to something else only to find, like, look back and find that actually, you know, if they'd kept at it, it would be hundreds of percent winners, several 100% winners here and there. So taking the emotion out of it is really important, and that's why I'm really enjoying what Stephen Brooks is doing. So definitely check it out. I'll leave a link in the description below. Go to the webinar. If you're watching this in late June, you should be able to still get in on this program while it's launching. It'll be pretty good. Alright guys, till next time.